Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another Oracle forecast. So, right now, we are in the midst of being in the thick of another eclipse season at this moment. So, we're right in the middle of it. But it is going to be a very, very, very interesting time to gather up some new and very necessary revelations. And hopefully, as we gather up this new wisdom, that we are able to connect with the world a lot better and connect with our souls a lot more too. I'm also enjoying a little bit of some homemade ginger beer. Hope you don't mind. It's non-alcoholic. My dad and I have been brewing it over the past week. So what you basically do is you create something called a ginger bug, where you grate up or cut up some ginger, leave the skin on because that's where the fizz comes from, and then you throw in some sugar or like whatever sweetener you want, as long as it's able to like eat it. That's the key thing. Throw in some sugar and throw in some nice fresh water, and then you set it at room temperature between like 5 days to a week. And then from there, once you see the bubbles coming up, and they get pretty obvious too, then you can make whatever you want. And my dad's first experiment was ginger beer. And I'd say, granted, the fizz is not that strong. This one's not very strong on the fizz department, but still tastes amazing. And considering I've needed a little extra help in the digestion department ever since I got back from traveling, this is very useful. This has a very nice grounding energy. Granted, it's tasting more like ginger kombucha than it is ginger beer, but at least to me, but it tastes amazing, I think. It's very refreshing. It's sweet, but not too sweet. And you can really taste the ginger in there, which is the key thing, is you want to taste the ginger. But it's also very grounding, and considering the need, and I need to like allow myself to ground a bit more, especially since I'm going to be starting a new job pretty soon. Very necessary. And I finally purchased the High Priestess shirt from Queen Herbie, as well as the bracelet. I did the purchase today. Should be here in the next, it says that it would take about 4 to 6 weeks because it's made to order. But could happen sooner since it is coming from her tour merch. So we'll see what happens. The moment it comes, y'all will be the first to know. But yeah, I've been dreaming lately about like being at one of her concerts, even though I had no chance to do so this year. I did see the live stream of one of her concerts, but I really want to go to one in person. And this is so funny. Today she did a new post that's kind of like spaceship themed. I'll put it in the Feel Good Memes thread on Discord if you want to see it. And then also, she recently announced her new season, which is called Day Spa. So it's going to be interesting to see how she interprets Day Spa as an album or an EP. So that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, I've been dreaming about her concerts lately. I do not know why. I've been dreaming them, but I have been. So we shall see. We shall see where it goes. We shall see where it leads. But for right now, I'm trying a new thing where we're just not really new, because we did that during our opening when we started doing like tarot readings officially on the channel. But I really want to get into the habit now of actually taking some time to breathe before we begin with getting our messages of the week. And the stuff that I pulled out today, I got my usual Light Seers Tarot deck, my usual Queen Herbie deck, of course. And then I also felt the sense of the goddess Isis really wanted to come out and play today. So I got the Isis Oracle here. And then, of course, I got my runes. So these are the offerings for today. And then I think the queue should be open already. So while we're settling in and getting our messages, if you would like to jump onto the queue, for those who are on YouTube, you could just talk about your question. And for those who are on Twitch, it is !join. I really did get in the habit of checking out my site every once in a while and updating things accordingly. So I'm gonna go ahead and update the rules on there so that way people don't have to get too stressed out about what can I ask? It's there's some things that I don't feel comfortable doing, but for the most part, the world's your oyster. And hello, Twisty Faith, welcome to the stream. So you came in just in time. I'm going to do a general reading, which is for the week, and then we're going to get to person-specific readings once the weekly forecast is done. So if you want to get a reading from me, all you need to do is type in !join. And then we'll go over your question. And I think you'll be the first person of the night, too. So, because unless Shadowstar369 shows up in today's stream, you are basically, you're my first person. So we're going to go ahead and get started, get ourselves nice and centered here. Gotta light up some cedar from Glastonbury. About this during Between the Worlds Sacred Space this year. And it's a nice alternative to sage. This was sacredly crafted by the shop owner, shout out to them. And really helps with clearing the space and feels nice and wholesome. And I feel the vibrations of Glastonbury. It's considered the witchiest city in the UK, in England specifically. It's one place that's on my travel bucket list, is to go there, as well as Ireland and various other sacred places. And then this spray I got from this really awesome crystal shop in Fukuoka called Jushukan. Ah, you're from the UK. Nice. And it's a sacred water that she charged with a clear quartz crystal. Originally it was Herkimer diamond, but I think she ran out of it, so she switched to clear quartz. It's a little bit easier to pick out. She breaks it off from this one cluster that she uses to charge it up. So the next time I'm in Fukuoka, I'll refill it with her charged water when I get there. All right, so. So may we receive what wisdom we need to receive today and for this week and always, that helps us live our best lives, as well as help us to take the actions we need to take and to think the thoughts that we need to have in order to be our best selves for our souls, the people that we are, the people and living beings we are around, and for the past and the future, the things that get to be and the things that already are. So it is. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and begin our oracle forecast for the week. And yeah, Twisty, if you have any recommendations as to where I should go in Glastonbury, I'm all ears. I have family in the UK, actually. Mostly up north, in Doon and Hucknall. Just a little outside Nottingham, but I really want to go back I really want to go back down to England at some point. Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to go to the tour, the sacred tree. I just forgot the hawthorn. That's what it was. The sacred hawthorn tree, and the White Spring, and the Chalice Well. I know, like, those places definitely need to go to, and maybe the Glastonbury Goddess Temple. So I know it's a big thing too. And then there's also the concert. Coldplay plays there almost every year, practically. Um, yeah, let's switch to the chat. Hold on. But yeah, gotta go to the tree. Gotta go to the wells, the red and the white wells in particular. Glastonbury tour, the Goddess Temple, like those kinds of sites. I pretty much like have those in the back of my hand, even though I've not been there yet. And the concert. I hope one day that maybe like I get good enough in poetry that I can maybe share some over there, because I know there's like smaller stages over there that people like share their own material. I know the poet Rachel Oates does a few shows over there every year. I know that much. But yeah, if there are any like sacred sites or shops I should check out, definitely let me know. Also, I know y'all are probably wondering, like, how come are you not doing the chill hop right now? It's like, I'll switch to the chill hop in a moment. I just wanted to, like, I got a little inspired. Like, shout out to you, Yukiko Matsuri. She did a really awesome little Normand reading for me last night. And I kind of got inspired to, like, maybe, like, try to do more frequency music. And let me paste in the one that I found. It's a really good one. From this channel called Mellow Mind Collective. Oh, yeah, that's another dream location. I want to try to go there, like maybe like during one of the equinoxes, because I heard like the celebrations during that, they get pretty massive, from what I've seen. There's also this one other sacred hill, I think in Scotland. Okay, I'm not feeling jumpers. All right. Yeah, I know like some celebrations get held by OBOD, the order of bards, ovates, and druids. Like they do a lot of like big stuff over there. But yeah, Stonehenge in general, I've always felt that energy even in like videotapes. One of my dad's friends did like one of his most advanced Tai Chi tapes in Stonehenge, and even he said like the energy of that place is so different. And like, especially with like the 90s videos, you can really see the energy, in my opinion, a lot more easily compared to like modern video, which is like way more focused on like modern detailing, like very present detailing. But like you can kind of like see like the aura, like in some of those old videos. Like, he doesn't sell it anymore. I mean, thankfully I backed it up digitally, so if you're curious, I could pull it up. But like, you could literally, like, maybe it's the way they edited it back in the day, but like you could literally like see his aura as he's doing these exercises like get like gradually more intense as he goes. It's pretty incredible. Okay. So while you're thinking about other places I should check out in Glastonbury, how about we go ahead and get started with the week? So, Monday. Let's see what we got here. 5 of Pentacles. So I'm kind of feeling the sense of patience is a virtue, because especially especially when it comes to eclipse seasons like this, and this one's a pretty intense one between the meteor shower, the basket formation in astrology, the new moon and the eclipse being in Leo, no less. So it's very much about how you present yourself front and center, and especially if you're going back to school. And then Saturn went into retrograde recently as well, which in that case, it's more so about like, it's about overdue payments, like payments from the universe, like overdue payback, essentially. The rewards of all the hard work that you have done for yourself and for others up until this point, which Saturn's going to go direct around December 10th, what I remember from activation vibration. But, or at least that's when like the payout's supposed to happen, around then. But essentially, if you've been feeling like you've been struggling a lot more in terms of your work, be it financially, be it in personal events, just feeling like you're struggling a lot more than usual, trust that the struggle is temporary. And again, patience is a virtue. It may seem, and sometimes also as well, the answer might be right in front of you, and you just need to gather up the strength to be able to lift it. Because, like, as you can see, the key is it's like an Alice in Wonderland situation, as you can see, because like the key is literally right there, but she's down here, kind of a lot too small to lift it, essentially. So part of it might be also just building up the strength and realizing the key may not be as heavy or as dense or as difficult to get to as it seems. So taking the time to really address what it is that you need to look at and what you need to accomplish, what you need assistance with as you go, that is very important at this time. Please take the time to examine what it is that needs extra support for yourself. Okay? Like, it can get rather overwhelming, especially if you're in the midst of a very, very deep struggle. But the universe will not send you anything you can't handle. So trust in your abilities, and trust in your community, and trust in your higher power, whatever that is for you, that you will get to the other side. And sometimes getting into your deepest shadows can make you realize how bright the light actually is. So trust it. All right, Tuesday. That's what we got here. Whew, dang. Y'all, all I'm going to say is hang on. This struggle is not forever. Because we got the Nine of Swords. Because I understand, especially when you're in the thick of struggle, it can get very easy to get stuck in the sense of, how am I supposed to handle this? This is too much for me. I'm done. I'm too tired. It can be so easy to get stuck in the overwhelming thoughts, the exemptions, the struggle. Oops. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's very easy to get stuck in the exemptions, the struggle, that this may not be for me, this is not meant for me, etc. Like those kinds of thoughts. It's very easy to get stuck in that kind of thinking. And it's important to remember that, again, the struggle is not forever. The struggle doesn't have to be the definition of what it is that is supposed to be your life. And more importantly, it's very much like Pandora's box. Hello, G-Rock. This is like Pandora's box, where just underneath all of that chaos of, can I really do this? This is meant for me, all that kind of stuff, underneath all of that, there is hope. And it's important to remember. And I keep this on my altar too, my desk altar too. We often focus so much about what if it doesn't work out? What if you do all this and it doesn't work out? Maybe flip it on its head a little bit. What if it does? What if it does all work out? Yeah, especially if you've been like if you have a really harsh inner voice that pops up sometimes. And I have it sometimes too. I actually had it a little bit prior to the stream. It was just like this really downer voice. It was just like, what am I doing? Everything's a mess. Took myself out for a walk. Did result in me starting this stream a little later than I scheduled, but it was necessary. The simple endorphins I got from just walking around the block for a little bit turned things right around. Sometimes a simple answer, even if it's not answering the problems at first, sometimes it can give you enough fuel to start looking for the answers, whatever they may be in this moment. Even if it's a temporary stopgap measure, it's better than nothing. And then eventually it'll make it easier for you to actually look out for the answers. So, all right, let's see for Wednesday, hump day. Okay. You guys are gonna be fine. Rest assured, it's not gonna be that hard. So Wednesday we got the Star. One of my favorite cards from this deck. The Light Seer's Tarot, in case you're wondering what deck I'm using here. But yeah, the Star. It kind of reminds me of Ben Franklin's Kite a little bit, with the way that there's a string going up, and it's like it's still grounded to the ground too. So it goes to show that, like, and also I just noticed now it's almost like as above so below, because it's kind of like a galaxy-like formation in the ground too, as well as up above. But yeah, all the more reason to hang on to hope and faith, because remember, like, as you can see, like, there's this one white bird that is buffering against all these black crows. And the Star, it's all about hopes and dreams. And it comes right after the Tower, actually. It's after the Tower. It's like when it's darkest before the dawn, almost like the sun will always rise again. And it's about wishes, expectations, opportunities, healing, hope. So if you're having a hard time, know that there is hope there's always hope on the other side of despair. There's always hope. So especially when you're on a Wednesday, which can feel like an empty day for a lot of people, I don't really consider it an empty day. And I know there's that poem, Wednesday's child is full of woe. Never really believed that for a second. Shout out to 6ABC for changing my mind about that. 6ABC and NBC 10. Anyway, I feel like Wednesday in general is like, it's always that sense of like things aren't always as they seem. So remember to hang on to faith, especially if the first part of the week has been feeling challenging. Remember the things that you've been doing up until this point. Remember the foundations you've been setting up. Remember all the things that you have been working towards. And remember that you can still, I feel like it's like the most important thing, remember the thing that you can still ask for more. Because I know, especially if you come from a more, like, a place where you're kind of been asked to be like more moderate in your desires, or feel a sense of like you can't really ask for more, you can. There's a reason why we call them dreams. I mean, we have that capital D dream trademark, but the reality is we have multiple dreams, plural. So Remind yourself not to restrict yourself to one thing in this life. Allow yourself to dream bigger. That's a message for Wednesday with the star. So Thursday, so what we got here. High Priestess, God bless and release it. I wish we had a High Priestess card in the Queen Herbie deck, but I guess this will be our good substitute here. So the High Priestess, I feel like now it's with the High Priestess, it's an assembly of all the experiences that you've had, both the challenge and the ease, and now you're balancing the two of them and paying attention to the insights based on both situations. A chance at introspection, tapping into your intuition, and all of the experiences you've had up until this point, being open to the messages that are coming through of the whole week. That's like, I feel like it's the entire overarching theme of this. I think I'm feeling the urge to pull one more card for like a significator for this entire week, because I just feel like there's going to be a lot going on this week, and it's like we might as well have like one overarching message. And the High Priestess in the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's two columns. There's two columns in the sides. It's like a white and a black column, which is like here it's emblematic with smoke here, or light. Two columns. Hey Luna, and I did see you. I actually did see you. And having a good day so far. We're just about to get to the latter half of the week for my Oracle forecast, then we're going to get to the readings. But yeah, High Priestess. It's very much a balance of two forces. And in this case, since we are going through challenge as well as a renewal and a reunification with hope, in this case, it is very much a call for you for Thursday. It's a call for you to pay attention to your insights, your intuition, things that may go beyond your average perception, and to really make decisions from now a more insightful and also a much more centered place. So it really is a call for you to really pay attention to the signs. I just think of that new job-based song, The Signs. It's like, do you not see the signs? I am very reference heavy today. Hope y'all don't mind. So Friday, I feel like now it's kind of a balance. It feels like it's like the overarching evolution of life here with both of these, because we started pretty dark with like the five of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, and then it's like bridged with the Star, and then the other side we got the High Priestess, and now the Four of Wands for Friday. So remember to celebrate just because we are here, we are alive, we are thriving, even in our survival and in our occasional struggles. But it's important to remember that we are thriving even in the midst of all of this. You do not have to have a significant milestone to celebrate. I know, especially nowadays, that finances tend to be getting in the way of celebrating the small things even, or being able to do things like marriage and children, or our families, whether birth or chosen, being able to gather together like that, or even birthdays or various milestones like that. The fact that you're here, it's a milestone. Maybe having a good day of work, that's a milestone. There are so many milestones that maybe socially we might not talk about as massively, but you made it, you're here. Celebrate it just because. You need to remember the happy times as well as the challenging. So embrace it all. Embrace the light and the shadow. And let's see the significator of all this. Three of Pentacles. A reminder that you're part of a community. Community has you and I in it. We're all interconnected. So, all the more reason why you need to acknowledge all the things. If you suppress one part, the whole system collapses. And it's even shown in research, apparently, that if you don't allow, like, I think it's recently with women. I gotta find like the precise study about it. It just recently came out that apparently, if you're not allowed to express the full range of emotions, especially when you're going through a difficulty or when you're angry, it's more likely to turn into autoimmune conditions. If you're not, or produce more strain in your system if you don't express those emotions. And so it's all the more reason why we need to end the cycle of being, I mean, some of us might enjoy being hermits. I'm not going to disrespect the introverts here, but but we don't have to be, even in our introversion, we don't have to be always on our own. Like I mentioned last night, we're all going to be interdependent at some point in our lives on something. I mean, hell, internet alone, it's the kingdom of interdependence, because the internet, here's a little fun fact from computer science. The internet is an invisible connection between multiple computers. It's not like the servers are the bridges. The actual connections is multiple computers. At least the original internet was. I think even now it still is multiple computers. So already there's an interconnection in this sense. It takes engineers, people who actually create this stuff. Somebody created OBS. Somebody created the camera. Somebody created the mic. Somebody had to create this being right here. I had to get help to get this voice to work the way it should. There are resources that I needed in order to pull all the stuff that I pull, etc. Hello, come on. We're just from the way we live. We are already interconnected as is. So I think we need to stop the shame of not being able to do it all. That's what I'm feeling. So allow yourself to feel everything you need to feel. If you could do it with a supportive arm around you, even better. And I'm just feeling the sense of like, take it easy on yourself. You're doing the best you can day by day. And what you need to do at this point is now it's like, pay attention, reconnect, and remember that there's so much more ahead of you than behind you. That's for the cards. And I'm a huge fan of Queen Herbie's music, so I pulled a couple of songs from her Queen Oracle deck. Has a really nice bag with it too. In the back of it says, "You are the magic," because you are. Okay, so here's a couple of songs for you, which I recommend listening to as a little bit of a boost. Oh, okay, I actually don't know this one. Okay, so one is Bob Dylan. Make a mess on the page for a new beginning. And this one I do know. And if Hyun happens to be online, they're going to have a laughing spell on this one. But I really like the song too. It's really good. Black Sheep. This is who I am. And especially for my fellow black sheeps in the audience, if you feel like you've been having to rely on this sense of having to be extraordinary, be it in extraordinary circumstances or just in general, just relying on the adjective being extraordinary to be seen. I see you. And you do not have to carry the pressure and the title all the time. When you're here, I hope you can just be you and not feel like as if you have to ostracize or be ostracized in order to belong. Regardless of your circumstance, you belong here. Okay. So with that, that is our forecast for the week. And now back to our regularly scheduled musical program. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I like to give people some messages they could use during the work week. So that way they have things they can think about while the week goes, and maybe a little bit of a signal, if anything, to help themselves maybe like turn things around if they need to. And of course, with my readings, you can just take what resonates and leave the rest. That's how I always go about it. So there's a vibe. You don't have to take it as gospel. I'm not forceful like that. I'm intuitive, but I'm not like one of those people who's like, this is the truth and the absolute truth. Nah, not that definitive. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Ooh, is that the one with Reese Witherspoon and Joaquin Phoenix? Walk the Line? I still need to watch that. I heard it's good though. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. We'll get to our reading pretty soon, but let me take care of something real quick, and I'll be right back. Stay tuned, everybody. Hey peeps. Sorry everybody. My mom wants to order some dinner, so it's gonna take a little bit of time, I'm afraid. So unfortunately, I can't really read and pick stuff at the same time. So I'm gonna be right back. But for those who still want a reading from me, but you're kind of in a rush, feel free to leave your question in the chat. My stipulation is I don't do questions to do like third-party surveillance, where it's like asking, like, presuming, like, what does this person think about me? Is this person cheating on me? Like, I don't do questions like that. It just feels like a violation of free will for me. But outside of those things, go nuts. Whatever question you want to ask me, I will go for it. I even do generals too. So feel free to put your questions in the chat, and I will come right back. It might take at most maybe like 5 minutes for me to get things fixed up, and then I'll be able to like pull some stuff for you guys. So I'm sorry. I usually pick this time simply because I'm able to like do things uninterrupted, but tonight seems to be like, this week seems to be the week of interruptions. So sorry about that, but I will be back soon. So I'm gonna pull up a bit of a break timer for right now. Sorry about that. And If an ad pops up, rest assured, it shouldn't be too long. We at least have like some music in the background, so I hope you enjoy that. Shout out to Chill Hop Music for that. But yeah, anyway, I'll be back. Stay tuned, everybody, and I will be back soon. So, gotta go buy dinner, but I'll be back. Sorry. Thank you so much for understanding. I usually don't delay this much. It just, I think it's okay. I usually have dinner around this time, but it's just like, this time I was like, no, we didn't have it yet. And then I was like, I'm hungry. Can we order food? And it's like, okay, let's order food. So, yeah. I'm finally settled again, so we're back. But it does mean I might have a little bit less time to pull cards. I'll try my best. Also, messing with the bed, so I'm gonna be able to read for him. But but anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So, Twisty Faith, you are person number 1 today. So feel free to tell me, what is it would you like me to pull for you? What's your question? And then after that, it's Phoenix Heart. Ooh, never answered your potential love life, so let's do that. Okay, yeah, let's do that. And I can't seem to remove the pin, so apologies for the people who are tuning in and they're not going to get the context. All right. And let me just make sure ads don't interrupt this. So I'm going to go ahead and run one real quick while I'm shuffling, and then we'll get started. All right, Twisty. Let's do this thing. All right, so I got 4 cards for you in terms of the tarot. And then I'm feeling like pulling one song from Queen Herbie. I always like to leave people with a song to get into that vibe. All right. Okay, so here's what we got. I also keep forgetting they also have channel points that you can like choose like which kind of cards you want me to pull from. I keep forgetting that. But you know what? It's okay. That's life. Anyway. So, first 2 I got here. So we got the 5 of Cups and the Star. So the 5 of Cups, maybe I'm projecting a little bit, but I just kind of like get this sense of there's kind of been a bit of resignation when it comes to romance a little bit, where there's this sense of there's a bit of like a disillusionment with when it comes to romance. There's a little bit of there's kind of like a, it's not really like it's not really like pardon me, I've been having a really hard time with words over the past couple of days. So I'm going to do my best here. But there's kind of like this resignation of, if it ain't happening, it ain't happening. I'm not going to put too much pressure. I'm not going to roll over and die over when it comes to love. It's like, it would be nice to have, though. But it's kind of like, I'm not holding out for it anymore at this point. But the star is indicating like there's still kind of like a want for it, though. Like there's still kind of a hope that this could be something that happens to you. And I feel like this could be a possibility for you. And the first thing is putting that hope out there. Doesn't have to be the level of Ray's where is my husband, practically, but like having that faith that love is coming your direction. And I really relate to this, Twisty. I relate to this a lot. Because even I too, at this point, it's been about 4 years. Actually, this month exactly will make it 4 years since I've last been in a relationship. Or was it last attempted to date? And it was the only time I've dated too, I might add. But I feel this. That's also been my phase of life too. So I think we have some kindred spirits in this situation. So let's see what the cards might suggest in terms of where you could go next in terms of romance. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that is a while. 7 years. But yeah, I mean, first off, hang on to that hope. If you still have it, I think that means like that want is still alive and well. So here's a couple things that I'm feeling like the universe is suggesting in terms of where you can go next in your love life. So first one is the Empress. And the Empress is about nurturing, usually in the divine feminine, but also being very attuned with your senses, as well as unconditional love. And it's very important that you find examples of the love that you want. You don't have to go with it exactly how you see it, but like seeing examples of the love that you want will make it easier to see that the love that you want is possible out there and bring it towards yourself. So that's part one. And then part two. Excuse me. That's the ginger beer talking here. Got the Six of Cups here. So there might be some nostalgia maybe when it comes to the old relationship, of course. If that doesn't apply to you, feel free to drop that, of course. But if there's good parts that you recall from past relationships, the things that you enjoyed, it's very important that you articulate the things that you enjoyed from the past, things that you liked from when you were in relationships in the past, and reconnect with those emotions, and also remembering that with this new relationship, it's also a chance to do things differently than what you did originally. So it's more so a reference point, but not as a litmus test in this case. So don't color the new partner with the old paint, but instead it's more so you see the partner, like, keep the references in mind, keep the knowledge in mind of what you've gathered from the past experiences, but then also remember this is a new person. They don't have the same history. They're going to have their things they're going to bring to it as well. And so it's going to be an entirely unique dynamic. And so it's important that you contemplate yours and the other person's needs, and then collaborate, work together. Because it's a dynamic of we. Yeah, because especially like if you've been on your own for a while, it can get easy to get used to, I depend on me and nobody else. And that's okay. Like, if you still have that independent streak, you don't have to like erase it just because you're in a partnership. But it's also just nice to know that like there's some things that you don't have to do completely by yourself. And knowing that you have a little extra leg up, so to speak. So when you love that person, you love it all. And yeah, and that's one thing you don't necessarily have to give up completely when you're in a partnership. I mean, it's like an extra factor. And there might be some things like, well, yeah, there's some things that I can easily do on my own, but I just prefer doing it with a partner. You get what I mean? But yeah, independence isn't the thing that you have to give up. If anything, a great partnership is more so, if anything, an enhancement of what the independence can look like. I mean, and again, I've only had the one experience, so whenever it happens to me, maybe I'll be able to tell you more, but that's the feeling I have oftentimes whenever I think about what my ideal romantic scenario would be. But that's just me, though. I'm trying not to project. Let's not project here. This isn't the projection show. But yeah, so that's what I'm getting in terms of the cards. Like, I'm just feeling like there's been a lot when it comes with that you've put down when it came to romance. But I think this is a time to pick it up again. So I think it's like at this time, it's a good idea to maybe take some time to articulate what it is you want, and then go embody it. Go get it. Go embody it and go get it. So do both. Like, embody it within yourself, treat yourself the way you want to be treated, and then also look for that person who was willing to meet up to that standard too. And you likewise will feel like meeting up with them. At that point, it's like there's still work to be done, but it's not going to feel like it. Hopefully should feel more like it's something that you really want to do rather than an obligation to fit into to slot yourself into a role. Because I feel like, especially when it comes to hetero relationships, there's such a hyper focus on like the role that you have to play, when it's really just two people who are creating their own universe and are living it out. You know? And the other thing is, the universe has many planets. It's not just the two of you. Okay? So remember your community. Don't isolate yourselves. That's not good. Don't isolate. So, the Queen Herbie song I got for you. This is hilarious. So we got Wifey. Speak to me kindly. I think that's very key when it comes to a partner. Yes. Yes, exactly. It's a good song too. And I mean, Queen Herbie's been married for a while. I mean, the group that she was part of was with her husband. He's nicknamed Jedi Nick. But they've been married for, like, I think like this year they celebrated their 20th anniversary. They've been married for a while. They met during their time in music school, and then they went viral with their cover of Look at Me Now. by Busta Rhymes. And then when they finally got that big contract in Hollywood, they did a few albums, but then they were like, hey, this ain't it. We're gonna like bounce and do our own thing. And they rebranded as Queen Herbie, and the rest is history. They just did a tour. And they're still going at it together. And it's a very different dynamic where they were together front and center, and then now it's like they're stars in their own right in different ways. Queen Herbie's the more front and center spouse, and then Jedi Nick is more behind the scenes, but still very busy in his own way. So so it's very much a very different dynamic, but they still managed to make it work. And so, hey, there you go. All right. So, yes. So all the more reason. All the more reason. You really gotta articulate what you want. You gotta articulate what you want and then go for it. You got this. I'm rooting for you. All right, Twisty. That's what I got for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I do these things every weekend on Saturdays and Sundays. And I like to keep it chill. And I also do paid readings as well, where I do like entire reports and stuff on my Ko-fi page. So if you want that, it's right there. I'm currently doing a sale going on there too. But I always say, whether you're a poor nerd or a rich nerd, feel free to come to my table. Okay. So for Phoenix Heart, no problem. Okay. Phoenix Heart, let's see what we got. My partner of 11 years left me. We still love each other, but we both have our issues that we can't make work. I have a kid, not his, but he raised her for 11 years, so he will still be seeing her. Is there any chance that in the future we will get back together if we work on ourselves, or is he done for good? That's an interesting question. I feel like in this case, I feel more comfortable answering this question because, like, you at least have a dynamic. I mean, this kind of borders on my third-party surveillance rule, but in this case, because you actually have more of a history versus like a more new relationship. And then I think it's also like you're working on the dynamic part of it. I think what I can do is focus on the energy, the dynamic, and maybe that could give you an answer as to what you're looking for. And you too, Twisty. Thanks so much for tuning in. You have a good night, okay? But yeah, let's see, Phoenix. Let's see what's going on in terms of the dynamic of the relationship, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, I think like you kind of already had your answer there with saying both have our issues that we can't make work. I think already that might be hinting at leaning more towards probably a no. But then again, it's like there's some things that like there might be things that like each of you respectively might need to figure out on your own before getting back together, and then there might be other things where it might have been the dynamic itself that might have been the issue. So taking some time to figure out which is which might be a good first place to start. But I think also like if you still have like an amicable communication to the point where even you're able to see your kid, because I know like especially like that kind of dynamic with children in particular, it can be very sensitive. So I think if anything, it's like bare minimum, maybe try for some amicability for the children, regardless of what the result is. Not like stay together for the children, but more so like have at least like a less toxic dynamic if you can manage it, of course. So that's like the first thing I tend to think of when it comes to stuff like this. But let's see what else I can tell you with in terms of the cards. It looks like an ad might be popping up pretty soon, so let me pick some cards while the ad's going. And the ad was going right when I was saying stuff too, so okay. no problem. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know these things are very difficult, especially when there's a family dynamic. So let's see what I can tell you. The other thing I can't really tell you, unfortunately, is I'm not the greatest at timelines. There's one deck that I'm hoping to get that actually does work on timelines. So, but for right now, this is what I've got here. So I got 4 cards for you in terms of the Queen Herbie deck. Sorry, not Queen Herbie, Tarot. Oh my gosh. My brain has been a mess. I get through it day by day. Okay, I got a couple songs here. Okay. All right. We'll see what those are in a moment, but let's see what we got for you in terms of the tarot. So for Phoenix Heart. Okay. So we got the King of Swords. Got the Queen of Cups. I'm feeling like this might be you two. This might be symbolizing you two, for sure. It's like air and water going on. And then we got the Two of Cups. And the Three of Wands. Okay. I'm starting to feel like... Actually, usually a lot of times when I go for this stuff, it's usually been like... A lot of times it's been like kind of like a no. In this case, it's like... Actually, the odds are looking pretty good. That you might like... I think you might have a chance if you work on things both separately and together. I think like having a united focus might be a really useful thing to talk about first. But I think also just looking at what being honest about what went wrong too might be a good place to start. And making sure it's not coming from a place of blame, but more so about how do we shift this dynamic together? That's what I'm feeling here. So the King of Swords, swords are about like logic and discernment. And I feel like it's like what the thing that like he needs to work on at this time is to sometimes maybe not be so detached emotionally and focus more on like making sure like his emotions come more to the forefront rather than having to like block it off with like logic and rationale. Okay. That's the feeling I got. It's like the logic really just kind of buffered his feelings. And but because there's kind of been like this, especially when it comes to the masculine, there's like a sense of like the only way you can be taken seriously is being an intellectual or being emotionally stunted or detached. And maybe a relationship is like probably the closest that he had for like to be able to have permission to be more emotive. But because like this culture doesn't exactly tell us how without like, especially the masculine, how without this sense of having like this overbearing dominion that kind of borders on violence, so to speak, it just makes it hard to like be more emotive. And then especially I find it really ridiculous that displaying emotion is a question of orientation when really it's just, well, being human, you know? It's just being human. And then for you, for the Queen of Cups is like very much like the command of intuition, very much an emotional authority, very sensitive to what's going on, very attentive, very tuned, very strong emotional intelligence and strength and sensitivity. And what could be a focus for you during this period of reconciliation and recovery is, putting a focus to that intuition, not gaslighting yourself out of what it is that you sense. Because if you have an instinct about a certain thing, all the odds are good. The odds are good that you're probably right about what you're feeling. So the key thing at this point is to not discount your senses, not discount your feelings, but also pay attention to what's going on instead of just letting the feelings like go and run free. So I guess in other words, the key thing is now balancing your abilities out. So that's like the aim if you're going to come back together, is like find some ways to balance your abilities out. And also, hello, welcome to the stream. But yeah, Two of Cups, I feel like to me, this is the love card. So it's very strong. Like, I feel like it's very strong to me that you two still have feelings for each other. So at this point, I think the thing is, like, don't put so much pressure about like how you're getting back together, but more so about getting to know each other again, because it's a change. Because it's going to be a change of dynamic. So in some ways, it's like you're getting to know each other again, almost like a brand new married couple. And some cultures even have this reference too. I forget which indigenous culture had this. I know it's like an American indigenous, like Turtle Island indigenous culture that does this. But apparently they often review their couplehood every 7 years. Because oftentimes every 7 years, similarly to how we have the chakra system, we have seven major chakras going on, depending on which system you ask. And usually around that time, a lot of things can change within that 7 years. And so if it's kind of like a big decision of whether or not you should stay together. And if so, to stay together, you kind of treat it as if like you're almost like renewing the friendship, renewing the connection, renewing the relationship, because you've changed as people. There might be some things that stayed the same, but like there might be some other things that you might have actually changed as people that you just probably didn't notice until you really pay attention and realize like, wait, there's something that really changed between us and I need to pay more attention as to what's going on. And so at this point with the Three of Wands, the biggest thing for both of you at this time, I mean, I think you pretty much already said it, is you need to focus on your development out of various traits. Like, the key is not perfection, however. Like, don't expect like a perfect person on the other side. That's too much for both of you, and it's certainly too much pressure on your family as well. But instead, it's more so about, let's get the ball rolling on having a healthier dynamic, and then whatever evolves after that for the both of us, whatever is best for the both of us, we wish each other for the best, whatever that is, whether it is getting together, whether it's remaining as friends, remaining as kin, or whatever other result that we find will work best for the both of us. So that's what I'm feeling at this point. I feel like there's something that could work, but yeah, I think the biggest thing is just don't put too much pressure on yourself. Focus on what you need to improve. Focus on what you need to improve in your dynamic and in yourself. And then I think eventually you might come to a very nice conclusion that's a win-win for both of you. And also a bonus for your kid too. So we got 2 cards here for you, and I know both songs as well. So this is from Queen Herbie. She's like a spiritual rapper who does really empowering raps. So we got Lavish and 5D. So got some stuff to let go. Let it go. Let that stuff go. And then 5D. I'm a transform, no warning. So be open to that transformation. It might feel unrecognizable after a while, but it might be a very necessary one to make whatever relationship dynamic you want to do with you and your partner to be in a much better position. I think certainly your kid would enjoy that too. So here are the songs for you in case you want to listen on your own off time. And yeah, feel free to come back and let me know how it goes. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's what I got for you, Phoenix. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, feel free to stick around too if you find this stuff fun too. I do have a lot of lurkers as well, so. Endless Scribe, welcome to the stream, and thank you so much for joining into my queue. So I will explain the rules in just a moment. But next one is, How Me Your Daddy 69 is our next reading for tonight. So, please feel free to tell me what is your question, my friend. It's been a while. You didn't come yesterday, so it's like, you didn't come like the past week, so it's like I had to take you off the queue, but at least you're back, so welcome back. Hello, the scribe. It's been a hot minute. Where is it? Wait, why did I think it was a hot minute? You followed, so thank you for the follow. Why does it say first time chat? That's weird. But anyway. Yeah, thank you, Phoenix Heart, for the follow. Appreciate it. Woo! I am getting hot in this hoodie. I was walking outside in the rain, so I needed to put this on to not be completely soaked. Ugh, but I'm hot. Woo! My hair's a mess. I need to, like, fix it. Ugh. Thankfully, this is not going to be forever. Ugh, okay. Mr. 69. You got your question? So unlike some readers, I don't do the, if you don't show up right away, I delete you on the queue. I don't really do that. So instead what I do is I give you a few minutes. If you don't show up within a certain amount of time, then I'll move to the next person, but you're still going to be on the queue. And if you happen to not show up during the stream, you basically have until basically the next weekend series of streams to tune back in. At that point, you'll basically be like first on the queue. So if you don't show up by the next series of tarot streams, then you're basically taken off the queue until you show back up again. So far, it's worked pretty well, and I feel like the retention rate of people who want to get readings from me has been a lot higher because I do keep people on the queue who need readings from me. So that works. So it's working pretty well. I haven't had the need to like end it anytime soon. I don't know how it's gonna go with like a bigger lineup if I ever get to that. But for right now, I think this has been a pretty good system. So I'm gonna keep it if it ain't broke. All right. All right, Mr. 69, going once. Mr. 69 going twice. Okay, I'm going to give him a little bit of time to think about his question. So, because he's a regular, so he does come here pretty often. So the scribe, I think you are my next person. So since you are pretty new to this, here is how it works. So basically, you can ask me pretty much any question you can ask me. The only big thing is making sure that you respect free will. So I don't really do like third-party surveillance questions like, is this person cheating on me, or is it like, what does this person think of me? I don't like presuming people's thoughts. It feels like it's like making an ass of you and me, because that's what assuming does. I mean, in the case of what I did in the previous reading, it's because like that one was a long time dynamic. So it was a little easier for me to kind of examine the dynamic that could be happening. Um, but I don't like presuming that because I mean, I could be, I mean, I do consider myself intuitive, but I don't like, I feel like after a while, it just feels like I'm violating like free will, so to speak, when I try to like presume somebody's actions and stuff, and I almost feel like a phony after a while, and it's just like, ugh, it just feels kind of icky. So primarily, if I could like focus on like more reflection of like things that you can actively do to like make things better, that's often the questions that I prefer to do. But if it's something that is like a relationship or dynamic, I can do those as well. So that is no problem. And especially with relationship readings, it's like bare minimum, have you interact with this person? If you haven't, it's like maybe I can just give you a little bit more, like a little bit more of reinforcement of. Maybe I can give you like a hint of a possible dynamic of like the vibe that I get with the person, the vibes I can do. Anything deeper, it's like that's a lot. So that's how I work. So with that, Lescribe, go ahead. Feel free to ask me anything. Oh man, I relate to this so hard, man. Okay, here we go. I've been feeling super lonely lately. All the people I know are partnered up, and it just feels like I'm either perpetually third wheel or just don't do or get invited to friend group stuff because I'm the only single person. I guess I really want to know where should I be looking, especially when I'd rather have a queer platonic relationship rather than a traditional sexual or romantic relationship. Oh snap! Sounds like we got a fellow ace arrow in the house. But yeah, I feel you, bud. I feel you. And especially like if you don't fit into like comp het or that kind of stuff, or like that kind of stuff, there's this pressure of like you just have to be happy being on your own. And for some people, yeah, that could precisely be the thing that they're happy. Fellow ace person in the fellow Demi person in the house. I'm Demi Rose. So I feel you so hard. So it just feels like as if like with Ace Arrow in particular, there's kind of this pressure of like you just got to be happy with like the friendships you do have, and maybe be content that maybe like you have a fun single life rather than like an awful relationship. But sometimes you still want a relationship, even though it might not run the same pace as like the allo heteros. The traditional allo heteros, so to speak. But let's be for real, even the traditional allo heteros might be wishing for a different dynamic than these ridiculous roles that like society's been trying to force onto them. So like it's okay to be looking for something different. But yeah, I mean, it's been about, at this point, it's been about 4 years since I've been on a date. So, and I was like, it took me a while as well for me to figure out that what was happening was residual, latent purity culture that was going on. Like I kind of already knew that there was like when I was younger, when I figured out like the ace spectrum was a thing, and at the time I identified as gray ace, it took me like 5 years to determine what was my own desires versus what was prescribed to me by religious or spiritual dogma, and did I actually subscribe to that, or is this my own thing? Like what's actually me versus what's been prescribed. And it wasn't, I mean, it took a while, but it was pretty easy to determine that there were some things that I actually genuinely wanted. So it kind of gave me a sense of peace. But then even in the ace community sometimes, it just feels like as if there's like this certain way that you have to be in order to be considered part of the community. When even within the ace arrow community, and they often are intertwined, but not always. It just happens to be for both of us. It happens to be intertwined in that way. There's even within the ace arrow community, there is a spectrum. There's a spectrum of experiences, and we might not be fitting like what would be the traditional allo hetero a macho normative gaze, but we still want the same things. It might just come out differently, and that's okay. I mean, even within the allo spaces, there's some things that you can do. There's some things you can do differently. And we've got 3 songs for you today. We're gonna see what that is. Yes, this exactly, and that's what I found out through my first relationship. Like I thought I was immune from that because I watched everybody else, like all my friend group date, or in the case I have another ace arrow friend, who in her case like didn't really push for dating so much, but focused on like being content, and if like the dating happened, then woohoo, miracle. But yeah, I focused so much more on like what role I was fitting into the relationship rather than what I actually wanted. And it was like I was the total contrarian to what I said I was going to do like whenever I finally get into a relationship. And it was just this big cognitive dissonance that it was breaking me. Like almost every day, like every other day, I was like almost going into like emotional, anxious breakdowns because I felt like as if I wasn't girl friendly enough or doing all these different things, because I was just very much this strong, independent woman who does not need no man. And meanwhile, the man that I was dating, all he wanted to do was love me. And I felt like I wasn't good enough for that. So that was the heartbreaking part, that I didn't allow him to do that. So I really hope that whatever the next phase is going to be for myself, and I really hope for you as well, that it's going to be, that I hope that you really do recenter yourself, because not only will it be more information for you and what makes you happy, but more importantly, it helps tell your partner what it is they can do to make you happy just as much as you do for them to make them happy. You know what I mean? So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and turn over these cards, shall we? So we got 5 cards for you in terms of tarot and 3 cards for Queen Herbie. Queen Herbie really, really, really wanted to speak with you today. So, let so let us see. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, for your love reading, got 5 cards here. It's got a lot. Okay. So we got Knight of Wands here. So I'm feeling like the biggest thing that you can do for you at this point when you're looking for somebody is to reignite what it is that makes you passionate and excited to live life. Because being able to share something, and hello, Sylvia85, welcome to the stream. But anyway, getting back to it, whatever makes you excited and makes you thrive in life, it's going to be very important to keep the relationship alive too, and also yourself alive as well. So I think getting like more clear about like what experiences you'd like to have, both for yourself and for when your partner comes up, is the very first step, because then you're able to have something you can actually share with your partner. So that's number 1 that I really highly recommend Because especially, like, if you've been, like, recovering from, I mean, I know, granted, it's been 6 years, but I think some people are still feeling the side effects of the lockdown even now. And if you feel like your social muscles have been atrophying a little bit, this might be a good time to, like, put those back into practice. List out maybe like 3 or 5 things that you really want that you really want to do, or places you want to go to. Take time to check off that stuff off the list. Maybe enlist some friends to help too. And at that point, it'll give you stories that you can tell when you finally meet that someone that you're ready and willing to go on a date with. Okay? So that's number 1. Oh, I'm feeling this so hard. So number 2, 9 of Swords. This is the classic, I feel like this is what I like to call the classic Ace's dilemma. Because I know the biggest stressor when it comes to dating while Ace Arrow. Well, dating while Ace, I tend to keep it simple here. Dating while Ace, like, the trickiest thing is just, especially when, like, when you first get to know someone, it's very hard to gauge whether somebody really is interested in you for you, or is it for the allo pressures, so to speak. Like, the pressure to kind of be this certain way on the first date, or whatever number of dates that it is, or showing these certain signs. And I think the biggest thing instead is, and this is something I'm telling myself too, as I'm getting ready for that kind of possibility as well, is you need to give yourself the permission that whoever it is you tend to come across, you might have to expect a bit of disappointment on whoever's end, mostly on whoever is the potential partner. Because then, however they respond to you being your genuine self, that should give you some more confirmation as to how this person, whether this person's right for you at all, and number 2, how they are right for you. Because they might not be right as a romantic partner, but they could be right as a friend. Or maybe it could be a friends to lovers kind of situation. Whatever that is. But don't let past adverse experiences of expressing yourself be like, and especially like past like adverse experiences of being yourself, be a determination of how you go from this point onward. Instead, if anything, it's an invitation for you to lean into yourself more, but especially lean into the multitudes of you, because your orientation is only one part of that multitude. And so see yourself as a multi-dimensional being. Your orientation may be one critical part of that, but also remember there is more aspects of you that you are capable of sharing with someone else, should you choose to. There's some things you can keep for yourself as well, but like, there is more to you. So that hope is still there, so don't give up. All right. Number 3, 10 of Pentacles. Lean on your community. Lean on your people. The happily ever after is totally possible, whatever that is. Lean towards that community. Lean towards that happily ever after. Because community has you and I in it. It is for everyone. So you can find your own happy ending, whatever that looks like. And I think you already have an idea of what you want it to be. So keep that vision in your forefront, in your front mirror. All right, number 4. Come on, flip. There we go. Ooh, Knight of Cups. Okay. And it's kind of funny, like, how, like, they both have, like, the The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups both have horses in the background, albeit different kinds. Embrace your romantic side. Embrace your soft side. Romance doesn't necessarily mean like the amount of normativity, how they look upon romance, that kind of thing. You can still actually enjoy some soft gestures without it having to go that direction per se. So it might necessarily have to be like, it might not necessarily have to be like the restaurant date, coffee, like restaurant date or coffee and flowers and picnics and that kind of stuff per se. But if you enjoy that stuff, let yourself enjoy it. It's okay. You don't have to deny yourself those interests. If it's something else, like maybe just having fun with the partner, that's fine too. And the biggest thing that I can tell you is allow yourself to be treated. Period. Like regardless of what the dynamic is going to be, enjoy yourself. Enjoy the time that you have with the person in front of you as well. And especially enjoy the generosity, enjoy the kindness. Of course, watch out for love bombing, but like enjoy the gifts. Remark at the fact that like there is love to be had and love to be shared. Embrace it. Especially if it's been a while. Embrace it. Really pay attention to the fact that like this person cares for you, not just the idea of you. Okay? And finally, Two of Cups. This is the love card for me. This is the love card for me right here. So I think things are going to work out. For sure. Like, I think things are going to work out. Whatever you decide to do next. And at this point, I think it's just focus on what makes you kindred spirits, what makes you come together. That's the thing that I really suggest. That's what I got for you for tarot. Now, in terms of Queen Herbie songs, I got 3. So I got Pre-Roll, Lucky, and Self-Aware. So Pre-Roll is they can scream and shout, I just tune it out. So you can just tune out the noise that's not very helpful. The opening line is, keep a pre-roll in my pocket from when life gets too chaotic. But if you don't do that, that's fine. It's just so just get the whatever noise that's not been helpful, tune it out. It's okay. Lucky. I don't gotta chase opportunities, they flow to me. Sometimes you just gotta let the stuff come to you when you're ready. So don't fall to pressure. And finally, self-aware. I'm amazing. And you know it. Remember that you are amazing and you know it. Embrace it, okay? So that's what I got for you, LaScribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. And feel free to come back and let me know how it goes. I forgot to put the names for these song prescriptions. So, and yes, Sylvie, of course you can get a reading. So what you can do is you can type in !join, and then you can jump on the queue and get a reading from moi. And basically, you can ask me anything. Hey, yes. Yes. Yeah, they're really good songs. I recommend them. You are so welcome. You are so welcome, my friend. But yeah, Sylvie. So you can go ahead and ask for a reading. the person that was originally there, I think he's offline right now, but let's see. Okay, you got a question. All right. So pretty much my only big rule is respect the free will. No third party surveillance questions. Like that makes you want to assume, because like you know what assumption does, it makes an ass out of you and me. So otherwise, world's your oyster. You can do whatever. So feel free to ask away. All right, and I should probably, yeah, take your time. I should probably double check on my pizza real quick. I think it should be coming in. So I'm gonna take another break. So feel free to type up your question. I'm gonna go grab the pizza, and we'll be back soon. Stay tuned, everybody. Grabbing dinner. Please enjoy the music. All right. Welcome back. I haven't ever pulled for a question like this before, so let's see what we got. Here we go. So it's been about 2 months, and I've been having trouble with my mail. I obviously submitted a report to USPS, but so far they haven't told me what's happened. But I'm not sure if I would blame them, since when I check the mail, I see everyone's mail but mine. So that leads me to believe that there's a possibility that someone might be stealing my mail, but I don't have proof, so it's just me making a guess. So I guess my question is someone stealing my mail, or is something else going on? That's a good question. Excuse me. Well, USPS customer service, at least like in the area that I live in, hasn't been too bad. So I say, like, try to get past the AI when you can, and maybe like try and see if you can get like a human person to talk to, like when you call them up. Because I think I think this might be the point where you might need to call somebody about what the problem is, because USPS has had some logistical errors lately. So that would be one thing I definitely would like triple check. And then maybe also if there's a local USPS post office near you, you also might want to check them to make sure it didn't get sent back to the post office. Because I know in some states, like if it's like not picked up after a certain point, it'll go back to the post office and be collected into one pool. And some places don't even re-deliver. They just keep it in there. So like until you pick it up. So definitely do another double check just to be sure, because it is a federal office. So there should be like more things that you can do. But let's see what else is going on. It's kind of interesting. I'm pulling cards for mail. But then again, I had some mail problems myself too. Like it took like 3 days for one of my packages to get out of customs. Okay. So as long as you have like a service number, that should be able to get them to look up your case at bare minimum. Okay. Now let's see what's going on. So we got the 7 of Wands, 2 of Wands, 9 of Wands, and Justice. Oh boy. Okay, there's a lot. Excuse me. This is why I don't really eat on camera. But anyway, 7 of Wands. And this one wanted to come down upside down too, like in reverse. So kind of what's going on there. First meeting usually means defending yourself, being attacked, being misunderstood, a need to erect energetic boundaries, a lack of preparation, giving up. Usually, like when it's upright, it's like self-protection. So I guess there could be some thievery going on in theory, because especially like when the 7 and the 9 of Wands in particular, when they pop up, it's like there's this kind of sense of like defense and one last push. Like there's kind of the sense of like defending against something or trying to protect yourself against something. So I'm feeling like there's something going on. Is it like an open mailbox, or is it one of those with like locks in front of it? Or okay, I guess maybe like, okay, let me redefine it actually. I just remember the wording for it. Is it like one of those traditional mailboxes with the flip tops? Or is it like one of those collective mailboxes? Because like in my development, for example, we have like collective mailboxes, but it has like locks for like each of the houses. Oh, it's the oh yeah, okay, I could see where a mistake could be happening. I see. Okay, the flip kind. Okay. That's interesting. So is it like just in front of your house, like in front of your house, or are there like multiple stacks? But yeah, I'd say in addition to the customer service, you might want to ask your local post office, see what's going on. And maybe like discuss some plans on multiple steps. Oh, okay, I see, I see. So there could be an error going on as well. Like somebody could have, I mean, it's also possible that it might not have been a malicious intent. They may just be accidentally taking your mail for all you know. I don't know. But I mean, if you have amicability with your neighbors, you might want to like ask them to see if they've seen your mail. And like maybe like say the house number or something, or room number. Because sometimes like numbers do get mixed up. Like I've had number mix-ups all the time, even though it's like one of the easiest numbers to memorize. It's happened. But yeah, Two of Wands is about like planning your future and also like making a decision between like usually two positive things. Usually about like staying in the same place or moving towards a new adventure, or picking like which adventure would be the more interesting of the two to go on. But I also got Justice, which I have this feeling that like it's gonna be resolved. Like it's gonna be resolved. I think it's just like at this point, the next moves I feel in like is like you might want to keep pressing USPS about the situation you've been going through, and then in the meantime, I think also as well, again, if you have an amicable, interesting. So I think at this point, maybe it might be good to have like multiple people, like maybe like have a team, like make a team with everybody in the house being like, listen, somebody's been like, my mail has been taken. So maybe like come up with a strategy of like, hey, my mail has been disappearing. So if you happen to like, maybe like if you happen to see my mail, maybe like collect it and put it into like one place, like secured inside the house to make sure that it's all together. So that could be like a workaround you could use. Like maybe have like a neighbor system of some sorts. That way you can like work together to make sure your mail actually gets to where it is. And then in the meantime, you could probably like inform USPS like, hey, this is what's been going on. And they could like come up with some options as to how they can make sure it actually gets to you. So those are a couple suggestions I've got. Because I bet it's not the first time that people have experienced this. Because I mean, it's also a federal crime to take somebody's mail without your permission. But yeah, I think maybe like a neighbor chain or something could be helpful. And maybe like if they could tell you like if they've noticed anything odd, like what, like have they noticed like if your mail's been disappearing, because you might not be the only one that has been having this problem for all you know. I know this is a very unusual situation to like pull for, but I feel like I want to pull a song for you from the Queen Herbie deck, even though this is not exactly a scenario where it kind of calls for it, but I feel like pulling one anyway. It's on Daydreamer. I like the song a lot. I go to my happy place 100 times a day. Maybe imagine your mail's going to its happy place. That it's gonna be coming to you eventually. Yeah, it is a crime. It is a crime, especially if you don't have consent. Like if you have permission to the other person to open up mail, that's one thing. But if you're not the person that's named in the mail, then you're not supposed to open it, let alone take it. But yeah, I say talk with the post office, come up with a plan to make sure that like your mail is secured. Yahoo! And then the other thing is maybe collab with a neighbor or two. See if you can, or one of your housemates. See if you can actually make sure everything gets like collected. The other way you could do it is you can also ask the post office to maybe like have it collected in the post office instead, so that way it's actually secured there, and then you can go pick it up. So that's the other way you can do it. So that way you know for sure it's not being stolen in your house, like at your house mailbox. So those are a few options you've got, and of course, if you talk with the customer service, they could probably tell you a few more that you can try. But yeah, you could, especially if you find out who it is, you totally could. But only escalate if you have to. If you can if you can do it with talking it through, that's usually the ideal scenario. But if it turns out that there's something more going on, yeah, escalate it for sure. Yeah, maybe talk with that neighbor that experienced in the past and ask them what happened, like what did she do, and then that could give you some next hints as to what you could do differently. But yeah, that's what I got for you, Sylvie. Thank you so much for jumping in. I hope you best of luck with your mail, because that sucks. Honestly, I know that feeling. That was me with my package that I mailed from Japan, and I was like on USPS like almost every single day to make sure it actually reached my house. And they made a handling mistake. It turns out they could have just dropped it off in front of my house, but they thought I had to sign for it, so it ended up being back at the post office. And I didn't even know that like they don't redeliver if they fail one attempt. They just keep it in the post office. And yes, the Queen Herbie's Your Recommendation. It's a song. Feel free to listen to it. Yeah, I say check it out. Like maybe like listen to the song for a little bit of inspiration. Wait, you you know Queen Herbie? Really? What? I love her songs so much. And the moment that she announced that she was releasing a deck, I was like, yoink, gimme. Like, I pre-ordered this immediately when she announced it. Around Halloween last year. I was like, gimme! I unfortunately missed her while she was on tour this year. My plan was to go to Philly, but I just didn't have the funds to go for it, so I ended up watching it live streamed on TikTok instead. Shout out to her team for doing that. So I'm hoping next year I'll be able to like go to her tour, because like she just announced her new era called Day Spa. It's gonna be interesting to see how she interprets a day spa as an EP or an album, but I'm so excited. You are so welcome, Sylvie. I like recommending songs to people. Yes, and I second that recommendation, because I mean, homegirl knows what she's talking about. She knows what she's talking about. I love her songs. And also her podcast, too, called Herbie House. Like, she knows what she's talking about. Like, she is, like, who I aspire to be as a businesswoman. Like, independent. Yo, what? Yeah, she was in Philly, like, earlier this month. I was supposed to go. She was in Philly. She was in Philly like literally earlier this month. I was supposed to go, but I didn't. I was so sad. Yeah, she was in Silver Spring, she was in Philly, and she was in New York and Boston. Like, she was like hard in the East Coast this year. And I really wanted to go, and I didn't. I wish I did. I really wanted to go for that concert so bad. Yeah, she came to Philly. She came to Philly. Along with, I don't know if both of them came, but, like, her headliners and her collaborators were also, Thought Squad, aka Prism from Dispatch, and Beautiful Chorus. But no doubt, she might come back next year with the rate that she's writing songs. She might come back next year. So keep an eye out on her website. Like, she's, like, performing almost all the time. So just keep an eye out on her website. Like, she's been, like, in her productivity era, like, over this past year and a half. So you never know. She literally could be back come next year. So just keep an eye out for when her next tour happens. Cause she's been producing. And it's like, it's not the exhausted stuff that, like, we've been getting lately. It's like she's been shooting bars. And maybe I'm overpraising or overhyping her, but, like, I love her stuff. I love her stuff so much. I'm super excited. Like, every time she puts out something, I'm like, yes, queen? Every time. But yeah, that's what I got for you, Sylvie. Best of luck. And, hey, if we happen to be in Philly at the same time, feel free to hit me up, okay? Feel free to hit me up. Because I got a lot of friends in Philly. I mean, I went to school in Philly as well. Yeah, it's like my stomping ground is like right in Terminal Market and the Fashion District. Right in Terminal Market, Chinatown, and the Fashion District. I'm also a big Coldplay fan. I was there when they performed in 2022. So glad I went. It felt like everybody and their mother went to that concert. It was amazing. At the Link. That was amazing. Like, yeah! Philly represent. I mean, I'm from Delaware, so it's like, but we're often nicknamed the Greater Philadelphia area, and also we get mistaken for Delco all the freaking time, and I'm like, we're not the same. We're not the same. Like, Delco is not the same as Delaware. We happen to share the same state name. That's it. But, like, some people do say Wooder. Some people do say Wooder down here. Like, especially up in the Newcastle County area. And then, like, I have friends up in the main line, too. So, I know Philly pretty well. And then even my dad's also an alum of a Philly college as well. So, like, we are, like, we're, like, honorary Philly people, essentially. Yeah, we're out here. We're out here. We have so, like, even, like, yeah, Thompson with Studios is a Pennsylvania guy as well. He comes to Philly sometimes. Like, there's a lot of East Coasters that are on Twitch, actually. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of us out here. Yeah, Runcie's from Philly. Yeah, we have a lot of proud Philadelphians in my street. If we're not from Philly, we work in if we're not from Philly, we work in Philly. If we're not working in Philly, we're touring in Philly. If we're not touring in Philly, we're going to shows in Philly. Like, I feel like we're just, at this point, I think like Delawareans, especially like if like the more north you are, you're basically already an honorary Philadelphian. We're already consider that in the concert scene. You might as well just embrace it. Yeah, I mean, everybody's been saying for work I should try for Philly next, and I'm starting to agree. I'm starting to agree that I should probably try for the city this time. Because I mean, really? Really? Like, because I've come across a lot of like East Coasters here, like on Twitch, but then again, I mostly stream at night, so there's that. I stream at night, and then most of the ones that I've seen have been, then again, the kinds that I tend to tune into, they've been New Yorkers or Canadians. They've mostly been New Yorkers or Canadians, and the occasional Floridian. And there's been a few West Coasters, like not as many as I do with the like, and then like the only dramatic time difference I tend to do is Japanese people. Japan is the one I like. It's like the next most common thing that I tend to come across. I have a lot of Japanese streamers, Japanese and Mexican streamers as well. That's the only dramatic time difference that I have that's close to the West. But yeah, like a lot of Japanese streamers will probably be jumping on right now because it's like 10 a.m. over there. I only know this because I was in Japan literally like last month. But yeah, I have a lot of Japanese Twitch streamers. But yeah, outside of that, the majority of the ones I follow tend to be from the East Coast, personally. Mostly from New York or Canada. So that is so funny that there's so many Philadelphians here today, which I really appreciate, because like, hey, you're in my neck of the woods. Yeah. But yeah, there's a couple of events in Philly that I'm hoping to attend this year. So like if I have the time, I'll let you know and we can meet up there. How about that? I'm also like big in the DMV, like around like DC, Maryland, Virginia, because I have a lot of family down there as well. So I pretty much know this coast from like front to back. Mixture of both. Pleasure mostly, but also for education. I studied abroad there. And Fukuoka specifically, like down south. And the weather down there is like Florida. I mean, Tokyo would be a lot closer to maybe our climate, but then again, I didn't have enough time to really explore that city too much because I was only there for 5 weeks, and it was mainly Fukuoka that I was in. And then up north in Hokkaido, I heard that place is a lot closer to Scotland in terms of climate. That's why there's like a huge whiskey industry up there. Like Nika whiskey is what it's called. It was founded by like a Japanese Scottish couple. They even made a TV drama about it called Masan. Highly recommend it. No, not the DMV as in the driving place. Like the DMV as in the acronym DMV. People get thrown off with DMV a lot because DMV, if you go more further down south, it stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. But since I'm in Delaware, DMV often gets mixed up with Delmarva. Because, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. It's like Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, because we're in the Delmarva Peninsula. Fun fact, Steven Universe takes place in the Delmarva Peninsula. Specifically, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. That's where Funland, the arcade, comes from. Because the TV show is based on Rebecca Sugar's childhood in Rehoboth Beach when she would visit her grandmother. So you can actually see the real Funland down here. Well, I'm not from Southern Delaware, which that has its own story right there. I've even thought of like making a YouTube channel just about Delaware. Like I even have the name. in my head. Although somebody already kind of beat me to it on TikTok. Like there's a TikToker from Delaware that actually lives not too far from my place. That she does like entire TikToks about Delaware stuff. I wonder if she's still there. But yeah, somebody kind of beat me to it on TikTok, but there's still a way I could do it on YouTube, so not the end. And then the Songify channel, Shmo Yoho, did this amazing Songify this song of Biden's last speech before his presidential term ended. And it kind of turned into like a Delaware anthem, which it's like it was too funny. It was like petition to make this a Delaware anthem because it was too good. It was too good. Oh man, it's too funny. And like if you go through Delaware, everybody has a Biden story. Everybody has a Biden story. I have a Biden story as well. I have like several actually because we went to the same university. So even though he's technically a Pennsylvanian, he was born in Scranton. Someone said DC Nova to me once, and I was like, for me, Nova's a university! Exactly! Villanova! I have so many friends in Nova as well. Yeah, I know they meant, like, DC, Northern Virginia. I knew that. I know that that's what they're meaning with that, because I have a lot of DC family, so I know when they say DMV or DC Nova, that's what they mean. But, like, you ask anybody from, like, Delaware upwards, they think Nova as in Villanova. Yeah, I went to Bryn Mawr and Asakata. Yeah, my cousin was one of my cousins was a basketball player for Nova. I think he just retired, actually. But yeah, I used to take the train to Nova to like go to their chapel, and apparently there's like underground bunkers and stuff. Hey, sister class. Yeah, my Runcie, one of my channel regulars, longtime best friends. She's a martyr as well. But yeah, I went from martyr to blue hen. So I went from one bird to another, from an owl to a blue hen. So not a true martyr, but like they'll still take me in as a martyr, even though I didn't finish at Bryn Mawr. I started at Bryn Mawr and then ended at UD. And then went to Harvard. Oh man, yeah, this is like East Coast lore. We're talking East Coast stuff now. We should seriously like have like an East Coast hangout. East Coast, feel me. West Coast, feel me. Oh no. Oh my god, 100k? I need to figure out what to do with these points, honestly. Like, the problem is, like, Twitch doesn't give me enough incentives. It doesn't give me enough incentives. That makes sense with what I have. Oh man, I know we kind of turned into like a chat stream a little bit, but like, you know what? It's been kind of nice to see more Philadelphians in the wild, because it's like common experiences. Also, let me know what your favorite Wawa order is. You gotta comment down below what your favorite Wawa order is. I ran out of water. Got my electrolytes here, thankfully. Yeah, whether it's a hoagie order, your regular pizza order, or like your sandwich order, whatever it is, or even your drinks. I especially like drinks. Comment your favorite order down below. I mean, like, Wawa is basically the Philadelphia's equivalent of a New York bodega. Like, we got a usual Wawa order we always go to. Yes! The gobbler. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yeah, for me, when I was younger, when they still had this at least, I always got the kielbasa, and then I would get the cookies and cream milk if I was in a rush. If I wasn't in a rush, I would, especially in the fall, I would get a blend of whatever is the seasonal flavor plus a little bit of hot chocolate. Hello, Swift4209. Welcome to the stream. And oh yeah, I forgot they also have mac and cheese. And then they used to have the chicken Waldorf wraps. They started bringing them back, thankfully, during the summer. I would get those. And then, okay, what other Wawa drinks or like Wawa things I would get? Oh, there's like this one smoothie that I got one time when I started doing like mixed drinks separately. It was so good. It was like a cookie themed one. I just forgot which one it was, but it was like it was one of those limited edition flavors, and I really liked it. It was a s'mores one, actually. It was a s'mores drink. It was really good, and it had like this marshmallow whipped cream on top. That thing was good. And they like it was limited edition. It was limited edition up in Philly, but like they had it all the time in Florida, so I just grabbed it down there. And then, the one thing I missed, so much, the birthday cake flavored donut. They only had it for Wawa's, like, I think it was like their 40th anniversary when they had it. It was limited edition. Hey, you're back! Okay, you are next. I've been waiting for you. So please tell me, what's your question? Also, if anybody else wants me to pull stuff, feel free to type in ~join and you'll be on the queue. I think I might be up for maybe like another, let's say another 45 minutes. Dealer's choice? Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen Shadowstar, so I think I might take Shadowstar off the queue. Because, I mean, Shadowstar came on last weekend, and Shadowstar has not appeared today, so... alright. I'm thinking maybe some runes might be a good idea. Okay, so Thawa. I'm getting better at, like, recognizing the runes, but I just, like, the meaning is kind of... Yeah, I'm pretty good, Swift. Thanks for the raid. How you doing this fine day? Understandable. I mean, depending on where you are, it's been pretty warm. All right, we got an ad starting up in a few seconds, so I'm going to shuffle these and then we will... I don't even know how long the ad's going to be. Let's make it a short one, and then we'll be back. Ah, fellow East Coaster. I told you. I told you guys. East Coasters are very common on Twitch. I've been telling you. I told you. There's way more of us in the wild. Okay, now it's saying I got a second ad break. Darn it. So I wasn't able to dodge it completely. That's okay. Okay, let's see. We got Ingwas. Then we got Othala, like I said earlier. And then so that's all in the 8 of tier. And so we'll find out what this other one. Oh, it's over already. Okay. It's I don't know why, like my thing's showing ad break in progress. But anyway. So Monsieur 69, here is what I got for you. So I got 3 runes for you. 2 upright, 1 flipped. 2 of them also in the 8 of tier. So we got Othala. Ingwas, which is actually in the last position. We'll find out what the flipped over rune is in a moment. And then we got, oh, I really get this one. We got Jera, which is in the 8 of Heimdall. And I almost versed. All right. So let us check out what we got here. But you're also a fellow East Coaster, Swift. I told you with Scribe and Sylvie, like, we're out here. We are out here. There's a lot of East Coasters on Twitch. There's a lot of us on this page. You're from Shush. What? You're from Baltimore? Bro, I have so many relatives in Baltimore and in the DMV. Yes. I'm from Delaware. Ah. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of I have a lot of relatives around like Pentagon City and PG County. So like, yeah, I know the DMV pretty well as well. Yep. Yep. Whew. Yeah, Harlem Park's not an easy place, so kudos to you. But anyway, Monsieur 69, here is the readings for your runes. So, Othala, which means the homestead. When it's symbol side up, it means there's some benefits to your property matters, improvements in financial and emotional stability, a happy time for home, family, and pets, and improving health and happiness for older family members, and possible additions to the family through remarriage. Othala, the homestead, represents the practical organization of home life. In the rune poems, Othala is said to be beloved of every human. This domestic contentment is linked with a good harvest. Though the Norse people were great wanderers, the homestead was very important to them, and establishing new homesteads with the blessings of the land guardians in the new land was a priority. When Othala appears in the reading, it's a good time for property deals, for buying and selling homes, for working from home, and spending quality time with family and close friends. House renovations or building a home are favored. It's not a blank side. reading, thankfully, so I can skip that. Othala is sometimes placed as the final rune, but it seems to make sense according to the author of this book, Cassandra Eason, to make Dagaz the final rune, because that one means awakening. But a lot more people tend to put Othala as the last one, since it's kind of the most favorite one. Okay, so the next one is Jera, which is in the Age of Heimdall, and this one was reversed. And goodness gracious, it's one. If anybody remembers when it's like a very old video. If anyone remembers, like when I did Jotun Valhalla edition, which I'd be down to replay that now that I know more about Norse mythology. When I know more about Norse mythology, Jera is one of the first bosses that you fight in that game, and I had failed so many times on that game, like on the first boss. And the thing that it says in Icelandic is, you have failed to impress the gods, but in Icelandic. And it was like, you heard that phrase so many times. I wonder if some of my old subs even remember that game. Because, like, I failed so many times. But it was freaking hilarious, though, when people would comment that, like, when actually, like, sometimes people even, like, made, like, a counter of how many times I've been failing. That's a good question. I've been streaming for a while now. Failed to impress the gods. Let me get back to the poll, and then I'll answer your question, Sylvie. Now Valhalla. Okay, so the next one is Jera, which is this one. And this one was reversed. So the blank side was up. So when it's simple side up, it typically means the good results of earlier input and effort, fertility in every way, including the conception of children, a bonus or deserved reward or recognition. When the blank side is up, it means refusing to learn from old mistakes and move on from what is clearly not going to work. For example, people who love the wrong person and take them back again and again. Jera is the rune of a fruitful year, the good harvest from seeds well planted and cared for, and the rune poems talk of heaven's king or Frey, god of fertility and the harvest, allowing the fields to blossom forth as abundance for all. But of course it involves earthly input, developing, nurturing, and persevering with longer term plans rather than expecting instant return. When Jera appears in a reading, it talks about publicly launching talents you have practiced and refined. It also represents deserved promotion and recognition of material efforts, receiving money owed, and success in legal matters, fertility, and good fortune. Jera is also a reminder that there is a right time for everything. It represents action, waiting, beginning a new venture, and moving on to the next phase. The blank side of this rune indicates the need for a realistic assessment if you are wasting your life on someone who constantly abuses your good nature or who will never totally commit to you. If we do not learn from each stage of our lives, the great cyclical wheel becomes a treadmill with repetition of the same mistakes. If your relationships or jobs tend to end up with the same scenario, it may be important to ask yourself why and see if you need to change your responses or expectations. And it's like, blank side, gods are not impressed. Oh god. And like Momo, was there like a controversy with Cassandra Eason because the way you wrote like the ... and like made me think like, oh god, is this another person I have to like not use anymore? Because like I just dodged a bullet with one person, one prominent figure in the spiritual community, thanks to an open letter from one person I met at a convention, but okay, why is everybody doing the ... Okay, now I have to Google something. Let me finish this reading first, and then I'll look it up, because like I'm having a bad feeling now. Like what? Like everybody's doing this name ... and I'm like, is this another canceled figure with the spiritual community? Okay, so finally we get to So finally we get to Inquas. And that means that's another instance fertility. I don't know why there's like fertility, homestead. It's interesting. Okay. So, Inquas, when it's simplified out, which it was, it means initiating creative ventures that will succeed within 6 to 12 months, taking the conventional route to success even if slow, promise of better days ahead, fertility, especially for men, meaningful relationships, and love magic. I feel like I pulled this one for you before, Mr. 69. I think I pulled this for you before. But anyway, Ing, or Freyr, the Norse fertility god and consort of Mother Goddess Nerthus, or Berkano, drove his wagon over the fields after winter to release the fertility of the soil, animals, and people, as described in the Anglo-Saxon rune poem. This was part of a sacred marriage ceremony with Nerthus, and he then withdrew to allow the seeds to germinate and grow. He was also a protective god of the hearth and home. So there's very much a household-related thing that's going on here. So let's see. When Inquas appears in a reading, launch a venture or initiate communication, but be prepared to wait for a response or results, as patience will pay dividends. It's a good rune if you want a child, especially if the male in the relationship is having fertility issues. Take the conventional route and study legally, financially, or following a slow but sure career path. Oh, nothing bad. She has some good books, but I remembered her book on the Fae was rather iffy, in my opinion. Oh, okay. Yeah, I found her. I got her Yeah, it's not like Silver Waving Wolf. I mean, I know she's been pretty controversial. And then also, what's her face? Byron Ballard. She's been coming under fire recently. Even though she technically has been under fire for like almost a decade, but like it didn't really like blow up until like literally this year, and I know the person who did it too. So yeah, it's not like Raven Wolf or Byron Ballard. Honestly, Byron Ballard's worse in my opinion, and thankfully she had the smarts to basically cancel herself. So but anyway. But anyway, this is kind of interesting. So I'm getting things about like inheritance, but then also two things about fertility, especially like business fertility and like plenty. So yeah, it's this is where it gets to a very spiritual / pagan kind of drama, so to speak. So, Byron Ballard is, well, an expert at Appalachian witchcraft. And, well, she's been coming under controversy. She's been under controversy for like since like I think around like as far back as maybe like 2014 or 2015, for transphobic and rather conservative views. And it really came to a head when she was almost featured in the convention that I attended. One of the attendees who I actually got to know this year, and she was also invited as a speaker, wrote an open letter basically declining her invite to be a speaker for next year's convention, any future conventions they decide to hold, because this information was apparently pretty open knowledge, but it wasn't until the open letter that when people actually found out how bad it was. And so as a result, a whole bunch of pagan and magical conventions either pulled her as an instructor, which she was pulled from Sacred Space eventually, like pretty much immediately after the letter was put out. But then soon afterwards, many other conventions were like pulling and making open statements like, it's been brought to our attention because of this open letter that we're not going to invite this person to our convention. And then eventually got to the point where even Ballard herself was starting to pull out of speaking. Me either. I really don't get it. Like, it makes no sense. Just, it's not obvious where the tide's turning. Like, read the room. Like, the world's messed up. Let's not add any more to that. It's like obvious. Like, let's honor our trans siblings. Let's honor our non-binary siblings. Let's honor all those who have been not able to get the proper support this whole time. It's just ridiculous that they think like this era is an invitation to spout hatred. And again, this has been like, apparently it's been common knowledge since like 2015. Exactly. Yeah. I think I heard of this. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't get how and then like this does not even like, I mean, and then there are even like some Black creators who want to like double down on respectability politics, even though they know full well it's been hurting in some ways a lot more than it's helping. It's oh my god. But anyway, getting back to the reading. Sorry for sidetracking so much. But long story short, I'm feeling this sense of there's some things about like your homestead and like your creativity that you really need to pay attention to at this time. And I'm feeling like there might have been something that you might have tried earlier, probably earlier this year, because I have a feeling that I pulled Ingwas for you in a previous reading. I just don't remember when, but I know I pulled it for you at one point. But I feel like there was like one effort that might have not paid off, and there's kind of a risk of repeating it again. So I'm feeling the sense that you need to like pay attention to what went wrong the first time around, and then see if you can do this next iteration differently, and maybe like focus more on how you can integrate more of your home life as well as like what your creative pursuits are in your efforts. And then this will more likely come out to some much better success rather than like up and denying what it is that you personally enjoy. So that's what I'm getting from the runes. And then got a couple of songs from Queen Herbie. Got Medicine Woman and Farewell. So I feel like there's a new chapter coming up. So also a focus on making sure you're grounding yourself, as well as allowing yourself to change. You don't have to stay stuck in the same old ways or same old methods and tasks. So that's what I got for you, Mr. 69. Thank you so much for finally tuning in. I've had you on the queue for a while, so I'm glad you got here. Oh, dang Swift. Dang Swift. You're on your fifth sandwich. But yeah, you are my next person. So I'm pretty much like, I mean, I don't really do a thing what I like to call like third-party surveillance. I don't like to presume like another person's thoughts. Like, I know there's like things about like intuition and stuff, but you have no clue about this stuff works. Okay, so I mean, I can do like a general check-in, And then I could also do like focuses on like certain areas of life as well. Like career, money, love, family, friends, or just like just a general gaze of things. I like to focus especially on like my specialty in a way is like empowerment. I like to help people feel more confident than when they came in. Hey Jenny! Hi! Welcome back. Okay, love it is. All right. Yes, of course. Jump on the queue. Already overthink, so full send. Okay, you got it. All right, I'm feeling like the goddesses want to come out today, so let's do this. All right, let's see what we got. I haven't done an oracle pull in a hot minute, so especially her, the Isis Oracle. Dang, how much have you been having? Hey, whatever makes you happy, go for it, man. What's your favorite flavor? Ah, that makes sense. Also, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Oh man, the Kit Kat ice cream cones. My family kept that stock for like 2 or 3 months. We were in love with those. The turkey ones. I did the pizza one for a while. Nowadays, I do like the Italian equivalent of Lunchables. I forgot what it's called. But like I always go for the pepperoni one. Ooh, nice. Ooh. I've not heard that song I haven't heard this song in a hot minute. In fact, this is like the first time I've actually pulled it. So, Swift, you got a few firsts coming up over here. So, the deck I decided to pull for you was from the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And she, like, her descriptions tend to go a bit more long-winded. Yeah, you need to, like, I recommend maybe, like, boosting the protein a little bit, especially if you want to gain some weight like that at that height too. Wow. But yeah, Alana Fairchild by Isis Oracle. Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. I know how to speak. Oh my gosh. But yeah, she does it like her descriptions tend to go a little long-winded. So I tend to like read the description and then like I try to like get the basic breakdown. And like in the future, for anybody who tunes into future streams, if I happen to use this deck on you and you're curious about one of the meditations that it's in the back, because like she also includes rituals in here, feel free to let me know. I can like guide you through a meditation from this if you want. So, or if anything in the future you want me to like pull from, like you want me to like do something from here, I can totally do it for you. So, okay. Okay, but I'm slow, so a breakdown is great. Okay, so the first one. Ooh, this is one of my favorites. Okay, I like this one a lot. So it's the Flower of Life, Divine Creativity and Manifestation. This is one of my favorite cards because the ritual for this one is really, really simple and really nice. And also, the Flower of Life it's like my personal symbol as well. Like it's one of the like the sacred symbols I really love having. So yeah, feel free to look up what it looks like if you're curious about what it looks like. So, Flower of Life, Divine Creativity and Manifestation. You are entering a fertile period of your life. Focus on your innate creativity and how potent this is becoming, and watch it rapidly grow. You are guided to think of yourself as a creative being and to surrender your control over how things will manifest, and instead allow them to do so. Don't resist change. Instead, flow and let it happen. Now is the time for your blossoming. So, in the case of love, it's kind of like, it's like you're changing your dynamic from keeping the love within to this one sphere of your life to expanding it to another person. And it's really nice. Like it's really nice to imagine what it's like to form, like, I like to say that, like, relationships are like forming worlds with people, and it's really fun to explore what it's like to form a world with a significant other, you know? And in the case of the flower of life, it's kind of like, it's like a call for you to really start nurturing your creativity and really embrace the possibilities of what that relationship could look like. And especially, it's giving you permission as well to not get so stuck on traditional expectations, especially when it comes to relationships. Don't get too stuck on, like, I know especially with like hetero relationships, there's like a tendency to get stuck in like the role part of it, and especially in the spiritual communities, like the divine masculine, divine feminine, the neutral energies, etc. They get stuck in those kinds of roles, so to speak, when in reality we have, I mean, even if you happen to identify with a gender, or you're agender or non-binary, we have all those aspects within us regardless of what we identify as, and we have multitudes within ourselves. And so the flower of life is giving you permission to embrace, and if anything, act upon said multitudes. So it's like a combination of you're allowed to choose something differently, and then allow it to happen, be it through your actions or just letting the flow of life move through you. Like, being the artist of life is what this one means. So it's also a call for you to, like, pay attention to signs of change and your flow. So that's one part of it. So the other part is, ooh, this is a really good one too. I haven't had this one in a hot minute though. Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. This one's a really good one too. And it's, especially if you get this one in combination, it's just like, it's really powerful. Okay. Let me get this up here. Yes, I love the art in this as well. She also did a Guan Yin deck, and also I think she recently released a Kali deck as well. So, like, a lot of Fairchild's really into, like, divine feminine figures. Like, if you check out her website, she has a lot of these, and she also does music too. And some of these cards, she put them into meditation tracks that she created. So she's really creative. All right, so Lady of the Stars. Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom, and an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. So, like, if you get this in combination with whatever else is in there, it's like the power goes like 2 or 3, like 3 or 5-fold. So, like, it just, like, whatever, like, positive attributes that are in other cards, it just blows them up to the next level. Which, considering the astrological stuff that's happening right now, makes a lot of sense. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. So yeah, like, I think the love department really is, I think something's shaping for the better here. So I think it's good to pay attention. So let me go ahead and read the longer description of this one, because I have a feeling it might give you a hint as to where you could look next. So here it is. Syrian energy takes the inner path and the spiritual healing journey into a whole new stratosphere. It is wise, ancient, and extremely high vibrational energy. It takes a certain level of soul evolution to be able to consciously register Syrian light and transmit it on this planet. The heart in question must be able to consciously cultivate unconditional love for it to occur. I think that's the biggest clue here, unconditional love. However, if we can still receive, sorry, not if, however, we can still receive Syrian light and healing assistance, even if we are still learning to more consistently come from unconditional love. We will feel it more and more strongly as we grow spiritually, but even in our learning phase, we can open our hearts to this divine celestial goddess and allow her, through her priestess Lady Isis, to bless us with genuine spiritual gifts. So in other words, it's basically like, this is always available to you. Like this unconditional love is always available to you. But like, even if you're struggling to accept it, it's still available to you even as you struggle. And as you start to get used to giving yourself more unconditional love, and then also experiencing unconditional love from others and giving to others, eventually things start to grow. And then eventually it's like more gifts from the universe start to come through. So Goddess Sirius, through her priestess Lady Isis, is reaching to you now. She has offerings of great spiritual support and a message that there is something significant that you need to be aware of in your life right now too. Let me pause this ad. There we go. Accepting celestial assistance and unconditional love of Sirius will help you now. To receive the assistance, you can choose to surrender into your heart and allow divine love to infuse and heal, direct and unfold all aspects of your life and growth. It is in total trust and surrender, with absolute faith that even unexpected twists and turns will be leading you in your best direction. Yeah, so in other words, like, you're not alone in this. You're not alone in this journey. It's okay to ask for help. If anything, the universe is willing to help you during this period. So all you need to do is just be open to it and keep yourself with like an open mind and an open heart, and be open to whatever comes. You don't have to stress about the timing or what your capability is. Instead, it's just more so whatever expression of love that needs to be here, it'll come. It'll come. So I'm feeling the rate of wanting to fast forward a little bit. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This line I really want to read here. If you have been questioning your evolution, starting to wonder if you're really just at the beginning of the path or not really in initiation at all, then this card is a divine acknowledgement of the power, light, and evolution of your soul vibration, that there is refinement and advancement there. This is not grandiose. In fact, one way to know whether this guidance is genuinely for you is that you will feel peaceful and humble within as you receive the guidance. You'll feel gently validated and affirmed within, not puffed up with false pride or ego. Of course, I don't like to presume like somebody's feelings when I pull cards here. So that's one thing. I do knock a lot of Fairchild a little bit on that. But outside of that, you'll feel inspired and uplifted to continue with your inner work, not needing telling others how advanced you are spiritually. The guidance for you is to realize that you are beautiful, you are worthy, and the part of you that's comparing yourself to others, hoping to find you are better, is suffering from an emptiness within that doesn't know that you are beautiful and worthy. It's wiser to spend some time filling that inner emptiness with your own acknowledgement of your worth than trying to trump others. So basically, in other words, especially when you're going to date or fall in love with somebody, it's better to heal the emptiness within while you're going on this journey, rather than going to date for the sake of seeking external validation. It's better to come into the relationship as a whole self rather than wishing somebody to complete you. So it's very much an empowerment. So let's see. It amplifies the strength since any other oracle they draw immediately before or after it, so it empowers the flower of life. It's a call to pay special attention to the cards next to it, and you are guided that you will grow greatly through the lesson or learning specified in any oracle next to it. Make it a priority in your awareness this time in order for the deepest spiritual awakening to occur. You're also guided that when the Lady of the Stars appears around any other oracle, there be a blessing of divine grace in forms including but not limited to assistance, miracles, healing, and help in mastering the lessons of any oracle you pull immediately before or after the Lady of the Stars appears. If the card appears on her own, know it's a special blessing for you soon to be revealed. And in this case, because the Flower of Life was next to it, I'm feeling like at this time, when whilst looking for a relationship, I'm feeling like the focus is focus on your creativity at this time, because then your creativity will actually give you something that you can actually talk about and share with that special someone. And then now there's a common interest that both of you can really thrive in each other. And it's like now you have an excitement that you can share with your loved one that you can take pride in once it's completed, or like during the process of your relationship, or once it's completed, once you're already in the thick of your relationship. And now there's stuff that you can actually come together with. So, ooh, okay. So the final cards that I got for you, I know it took a while, so I don't usually take this long. That's why I barely pulled this out on stream, but I felt like pulling it out today. But it's a couple of songs that I pulled from the Queen Oracle deck. It's the deck by Queen Herbie and her spiritual advisor, Shabala, Queen of Lions. It has like rap songs that she does, which I often recommend like people listen to, because I mean, she has this very empowering energy about her, and they have like little messages in between that just really make sense. So got two songs, Just Found Out and Abracadabra. So it's like, remember, it's like a reminder for you that like you've got the power within. Don't doubt your power or your confidence, because you got this. You've got good traits within you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Okay? So that's what I got for you. I'm going to type out the songs that I just put up for you. Abracadabra. Okay. So that's what I got for you, Swift. Thank you so much for the raid and for jumping in. I hope this was insightful for you. Well, is this your first time getting a card reading on Twitch? Because if so, welcome to Tarot Twitch. All right. So it looks like nobody else is jumping in, and the ad break is about to start in 3 minutes. So yeah, I saw your question, Jenny. Unfortunately, yeah, Momo is right. That is asking what a person's doing is hitting my third party surveillance clause. So I can't answer that question. But if you have any other questions, I can answer those. We've got about 3 minutes until the ad pops up. Gotcha. And I actually did poll for Jenny the other day about Fergus, actually yesterday. But I'm seeing that she's still online according to my chat thing. Huh, interesting. Yeah, no problem, Swift. But yeah. I think I'll give it a little bit of time. If anybody else wants to jump on the queue. But yeah, Jenny, unfortunately I can't answer the question that you just put up about what Fergus is doing, because that would be hitting my third party clause. I can't presume anybody's actions. So I can't answer that question, unfortunately. But if you got any other question that you want me to answer, feel free to type it up. We got an ad starting up in about a minute 30 seconds. So if you want to take some time to think of another question that I can answer for you, feel free to put it in the chat. And if anybody else wants for me to answer a question, please feel free to add yourself to the queue. It's !join if you're on Twitch, or just type in your question if you happen to be on the YouTube side of things. So I'm going to be here for a little while. So, yee. Take your time. Oh, excuse me. Hello. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if you caught what I said earlier, but unfortunately, I can't answer your earlier question because it is hitting the third-party surveillance clause that I have. So I can't answer anything that makes me presume somebody else's actions. So if you have any other question that I can answer for you, I can do that. We got an ad in about a few seconds, so feel free to take some time during the ad break, and you can think about what you'd like me to answer for you. Hey Skipper, welcome to the stream. Are you sure? So I am willing to answer something else. Stream's been doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm in the midst of an ad break right now, so that's why I'm not pulling anything. But if you wanna get a reading from me, feel free to jump on the queue. It's !join. It's been warm. Ah, okay. Yeah, of course. Thanks for the rave. Thanks for stopping by, Skipper. Thanks for the love. Did you want a reading, Momo? Yeah, you too. Feel free to come back anytime. I'm actually picking up some gaming streams pretty soon. So whenever I'm online, feel free to stop by. So I do more than card pulls. I also do gaming streams too, and the occasional chat. So if y'all like nerdy stuff, feel free to come over. Ooh, nice. But yeah, Jenny, you sure you don't want to read? Because, like, I can still do one. I mean, from what I saw, like, from, like, the last poll that I did last night, I mean, he seemed fine. From what I saw. In terms of the vibe check. I mean, is there anything that I can support you with? Like any concerns or anything you want a little confidence boost? Because I can do that. Okay, so what would you like me to focus on? And it's for you. It's for you, Jenny. Y-O-U. I don't know. Well, I could do a general. I could do a general for you. That's okay. It's okay. If you're not able to think of anything, that's fine. All right. Okay. I'm feeling like it's a couple of cards today, so let's see if we can pull one more. Oh, got two. Oh, three. Okay. Okay. Ooh. All right. And let's see what song is hitting the vibe today. Ooh, okay. All right. Songs really came out like that. Okay. So here's what we got for you. Okay. Okay. So, terms of cards for you, we got the moon. Apparently there's like an illusion you're supposed to be able to see with this card that I haven't been able to find yet, no matter how many times I've looked at it. Maybe today's the day I might know what it is. But other ones include the Eight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Cups. High Priestess and the Queen of Cups have been coming up quite a bit this month. Because I'm feeling there's like a call to like start paying attention to your intuition a lot more and your emotions because there might be some like TLC that you might need to do for your feelings at this time is what I'm feeling. And also the moon is about hidden truths and about trust. Like it's another way of trusting your intuition, especially in the depths of your shadow. Because especially with the way like this card is illustrated, it has like the two wolves, the black and the white wolf, and there's this like indigenous fable where it talks about like two wolves fighting with each other, and the one that wins is the one that you feed, because eventually you have to feed both of them. Or this one story that I remember in this Anne Frank film with Ben Kingsley playing Otto Frank, and there's this story about good Paula and bad Paula, and saying how good Paul, and then Otto talks about how bad Paula always puts good Paula into trouble, when Anne Anne then talks about how maybe bad Paula is actually an aspect of good Paula, and maybe bad Paula is like the aspect of good Paula that gets scared sometimes or frustrated or angry. Like basically expresses the feelings that needs to be expressed, but like everybody else tends to see it as bad when it's actually necessary for Paula to be balanced, so to speak. So similarly, actually, come to think of it, when I look at this, the moon and the high priestess are sharing similar imagery here with like the black and the white. Because especially, and even come to think of it, the black and the white are sharing the same positions. The black on the left and the white on the right, of like what's happened and what's to come, is what I'm feeling here. So it really is a call for you to really, like, doubly, triply even, to pay attention to your instincts. That they're going to give, like, and to pay attention to the signs around you, because they are going to give you hints as to what to do next, as well as the hints as to what you need to do. Because sometimes you can pull so many cards, you can read so many books, but eventually you have to make a decision rather than forcing the universe to make a decision for you. So sometimes you might have to turn inward for a moment. Turn inward for a moment and really pay attention to what your soul has to say, what your soul is saying, and what the right direction is. Because like deep down you might know what it is. And it can be a call for you to really just stop indulging in fear and really dedicate to what it is that you need, what you need to do. Because like your soul knows. Your soul doesn't lie. It knows what it needs to do, what it needs to thrive and succeed. But it's funny I mentioned that because we got the Eight of Pentacles here as well. And usually it's about like dedication and mastering a skill and putting like your spirit, what this deck calls the Meraki, into like basically your energetic essence into whatever it is that you decide to do. And it's making steady, consistent progress and being patient and being attuned to your soul and its purpose. Being attuned to your purpose. So everything's basically saying to me that at this time, I think it's very important to learn the language of your intuition, because we all have it. Some of us are able to discern it a lot better than others, but I find intuition to be a muscle, not an inheritance, like people tend to talk about it as. So I say take a time and learn how your intuition speaks. So that's my advice that I got for you. And the other things that I have is a couple of songs from Queen Herbie, Self-Aware and Lucky. 2 songs that came up earlier today, but hey, these are good songs. These are really good songs. I like the beats. I like Self-Aware especially because of there's this choir section, like this chorus towards the end that has this really satisfying, delicious harmony towards the end. It's like, ooh, tingles. Okay. How I recommend it. It's kind of like, it's almost akin to like Lord's Royals, but not really. But like it has this really nice harmony towards the end of the song. That just, I still get like shivers whenever I hear it too. It's like, ooh, it's so good. So good. Okay. So that's what I got for you, Jenny. I know that was a lot, and it probably wasn't what you originally wanted to ask about, but I think I told you a lot about Fergus last stream, which is yesterday, literally, and I think reshuffling about that again is not gonna it's honestly like you can, I mean, feel free to like go for a second opinion, because there are a bunch of tarot streamers online right now if you want, that don't have my third party restriction. I always encourage, in fact, I always encourage, like, I encourage anybody on here, don't limit your opinion to me. Feel free to get a second opinion to confirm what I've said, or even just to get extra information, because I may be sensitive on one thing and then somebody else might get more of the clearer picture, or somebody else might have something here. I mean, some of us in this stream are readers ourselves as well, so feel free to tune into any of us, because I'm not the only one here. If anything, I like to highlight other people. Luna Laney, Starry Momo, Yukiko Matsuri, who else? Root to Rise Tarot. There's like this one ASMR channel that was kind of funny. It was like, it had like the name Church Lady in it. It was kind of hilarious. But like she's like an ASMR tarot reader. But there's so many other people here. So to anybody who is new to the tarot space, on TikTok, we're pretty awesome. We don't bite. So please feel free to check out anyone else in this space. Don't limit yourself to me. I appreciate you joining me all this time, but you are not limited to me. So please feel free to check out anybody else here. So for the first time in about a week, I finally have an empty queue. Anybody else wanting a reading? Going once. Going twice. It's exclamation point join. Anybody wants a reading? Going 2.5. Going thrice. Okay. Shop's closed. All right. All right. So, I guess in this case, thank you so much for tuning this Oracle forecast. So, for tonight, the circle is ended, but unbroken still. Sorry if that was super loud. But anyway, thank you so much for all the wisdom that these cards and materials have brought for you for tonight. You're relieved. You may, and all the helpful guides and helpers that have come here today. Leave as you stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in tonight. I went for a while, almost 3.5 hours, but these things go for a while. And I also really enjoy reading for you guys. So I hope y'all enjoyed it too, because I certainly enjoyed it a lot. So anyways, I am starting back up with gaming streams pretty soon. So just keep an eye out for notifications when the gaming streams happen. I'm hoping to get back into Stronghold at some point. And I also want to play some more Escape Simulator, and I would love to play with some company. So if anybody wants to play with me, please feel free to feel free to suggest, feel free to like come by whenever I happen to do it. So anyways, and also later on this month, I'm going to be doing some vlogs from my trip in Japan. So keep an eye out for some fun videos about my travels and my studies. It is going to be, I also have some previews on TikTok, which I'm going to add more at some point. But I have some previews of like some of my travels on TikTok, and there'll be more coming up pretty soon. So got a number of charities this summer season, because apparently everything's happening right now. So there's the Between Years Network, which is a senior citizens network of people who want to contribute to their communities. Which, speaking of contributing to community, there's been a bunch of earthquakes around the Pacific Rim that have happened over the past month. And it's like, is the Earth trying to tell us something? Because there's been earthquakes in Colombia, Venezuela, Japan, and just recently Indonesia. Yeah, there's been a bunch of earthquakes that have happened recently, and pretty much all of them have been around or near the Pacific Rim. Some of them have been pretty devastating. The only one that hasn't been devastating, even though it was pretty powerful, it was 7.4, was in Tonga. But nobody passed away in the Tonga ones, that's why I barely got any press. But all the other ones have been pretty devastating so far. So I've got a charity for Japan and Colombia in my YouTube description. I'm still working on getting ones for Indonesia and Venezuela. But the moment I find those, I will post them on my Discord server as well as in my YouTube description. So keep an eye out for those links if you want to help out with that. I also run a Japanese English online exchange group, and I just added a second day to it. So it's happening Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Japanese Standard Time. So it's a great way that you can make some new friends as well as learn a new language together. I also put up a poll for a Discord listening party coming up this month. So far, it's leaning towards most likely next Sunday. So the moment we get a date, I will put it up here on Discord. I'll put it up here and you guys can attend. And the link is down below as well if you want to join my Discord server. I'm also doing a sale on my Ko-fi page. I do readings outside of here. What I do here kind of scratches the surface of what I do. I do even deeper stuff, deeper reports. And I'm doing a 2,000 yen special, which is about how much I paid for readings back when I was in Japan, which in the US dollars is the equivalent of $12. So the moon through the star tiers, which is basically moon, wheel of fortune, and the star tiers are offered at $12. The sun is already offered at $12. So basically you can choose any of these and it's only $12. Other ways you can help me grow, you can continue tuning to the channel, which is on ad revenue or turbo. You can donate, you can purchase items in my coffee shop, or you can subscribe using your Twitch account or Prime. Pro tip, especially if you're paying for it, do it on desktop, because if you do it on mobile, it charges an additional fee that goes towards the mobile app provider and not towards me. So that's a little heads up. The other heads up I gotta give you, which I recently found out, is that Twitch is starting to use our videos and our comments as part of generative AI training. So do yourself a favor, if you do not consent to that usage, go under the security tab under your settings, and then if you scroll to the bottom, there should be an area that says something like train for generative AI. It's already turned on for a lot of people. You can turn it off and your data, your videos will not be used for that. It will still be used for advertising under Twitch's terms and conditions, but that was already a prerequisite from day one. So I don't mind being used for ads, but I really personally do mind being used for AI training, because I mean this kind of stuff, especially this kind of stuff with divination and stuff like this shouldn't be included. Honestly, this really shouldn't be a thing. Like, it was a good thing that my mod was on top of it and told me about this situation, because I saw no indication that that was the direction that Twitch was going to go. So if you don't consent to it, now you know what you can do to remove yourself from the equation. So I hope that helps. So anyway, finishing us off, here's where you can find me outside of this channel. I have Blue Sky, I have Discord, I have TikTok. I simulcast on both Twitch and YouTube, DJ MK Off the Air. So if you want to rewatch some of your old readings, Twitch automatically deletes after a certain capacity or after a certain period of time. But YouTube, I never delete my videos. So if you don't find it here on Twitch, it's pretty good. It's on my YouTube channel. The vlogs that I'm going to be doing from my Japanese study abroad trip, that's going to be on my second channel, Theological Otaku. I also have writings on my Substack, thirdnerd.substack.com. I'm actually working on a piece right now about what I talked about yesterday during the first part of the stream. So Look forward to that. I also have a coffee shop, like I mentioned earlier. You've seen the links all over my chat, so I'm not going to go any further with that. I also have a throne wish list. My birthday was this month, so if you want to send a little late present to me, I'm totally open to that. Throne.com/Tondracia. And I also have a thing called Hypesy, which is kind of like spiritual entrepreneur social media / like phone line. So if you want to like, if there's like stuff you want me to pull for you, and you feel like donating to the cause to make the channel better, feel free to check that out. Hypesy.com/WinStarShiner. I haven't done a live stream again in a hot minute, so I'm hoping to do that pretty soon using Hypesy. So keep an eye out for that. Finally, this episode was filmed on the homelands of the Nanticoke and Lenape indigenous peoples. To find out whose indigenous lands you are occupying, find out more information, maybe reconnect with some roots. I especially implore my African and Asian siblings to contribute some data to the site, because even if it's for historical purposes, it's still very important to reconnect with our roots. Please and thank you. Please check out native-land.ca. The maps are really cool, so please if you find some way to contribute to the project. I know we have different terminology, but please contribute to it, because it's very important to have this information, even if it's just for historical purposes. So yeah, with that, we are officially done with tonight's Oracle forecast. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Hope y'all had a fun time. I know I've been having a lot of non sequiturs with this channel, but I hope you had a lot of fun. I certainly did. So with that, stay hydrated, stay cool if you happen to be in a hot spot. Don't freeze if you happen to be in a cold spot, because I know it's winter down south. And as always, of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody. For those who are watching live, stand by for a raid. And for those who are watching a replay, this is the end of the video. Take care now.